Well, folks, we have got some massive news for the White House and the Republican Party here. Approval ratings of the GOP and really President Donald Trump are at all-time highs right now in a new NBC poll. We are seeing approval ratings for the president like we have not seen in 2 decades. All while Democrat approval falls to the lowest that they have seen in decades for a party that is struggling to counter the second Trump administration. We are going to break it all down for you today. But before we get into it, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you never miss another video from us in the future. Now, a new poll came out. Like we said, 44% of Americans now say the U.S. is headed in the right direction under President Trump's leadership. This is a huge milestone, up from just the 27% that believed the United States was headed in the right direction in November. Let's take a listen in over at NBC Meet the Press.
First of all, the mood of the country. This really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44% you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents, that number is also up since the election on the direction of the country. First of all, the mood of the country.
And so why does it matter? It matters because this is the highest ranking we have seen for the direction, the right direction, since 2004, January of 2004, when about, 8 months before George W. Bush would go on to win re-election against John Kerry in 2004. This is the last time it's even cracked 40% since 2012. 13 years ago was the last time it cracked. So it's like we went through the second half of Obama, we went through Trump, and we went through Biden, and we have not cracked 40%. Now, Trump is back. We've cracked 40%. We're at 44%. The best it's been in 21 freaking years, people. This is a 20-year peak right here, folks. 20-year peak. So, what's behind the big jump? Republicans are the main force behind this, and there's no surprise there. But here's the kicker. Independents are jumping on board, too, and that is a huge game changer when it comes to this. As Steve Kornacki pointed out, since the election, independents are feeling better about the country's direction under Trump. This isn't just the MAGA crowd cheering. It is a broader shift, and that's why this poll is such a big deal. It is the broader shift of the entire electorate towards President Trump, towards the GOP. And think about it. If independents are swaying this way, it could mean serious momentum for the Republicans moving forward if they capitalize on this, if they take advantage of it. They could run with this into 2026. They could run with this into 28. For so many different reasons, it's so important that President Trump not only the GOP maintains control of the Senate and House in 26, but that a Republican wins in 28, especially when it comes to the 2030 census that will be done. We must have a Republican, so Trump needs to keep doing what he is doing. But now let's flip the script here, because while Republicans are soaring, the Democrats are in a total freefall. They've been caught flat-footed and they don't know what the hell to do. They're lost. Because this same poll shows that the Democrat Party approval rating is at a pathetic 27%. That's it. 27%. That's it. 27% of respondents have a positive view of the party, and only 7% say their view is, quote, very positive. While 55% of these people have a very negative view, 55% have a negative view, 38% have a very negative view. And this isn't just bad. This is like historically bad. This is historically bad right here. This is just terrible for the Democrats. It is going to take a lot for them to recover from something like this. Because according to NBC, these are the lowest approval numbers for the Democrats since 1990. 1990! Like, Donald Trump was still married to his second wife at that time. George H.W. Bush was president. He was about to break his promise. No new taxes. Read my lips. Like, we lived in a much different world in 1980. They have not been at a low like this for 35 years. And Democrat pollster Jeff Horwitz did not sugarcoat it one bit. He said, quote, with these numbers, the Democrat Party is not in need of a rebrand. It needs to be rebooted. Like, this isn't a Brandon issue. And I know the Democrats, They love to talk about how it's just a Brandon issue. Let's. I got something I bookmarked earlier right here. This radical nut job. Take a listen to this, and then we're going to discuss a little more.
Versus politics problem, right? Biden world, very good on policy, grew the economy, very bad on politics, right? Unable to communicate with voters. We're seeing this sort of hangover from that a little bit. And also, losers are not popular. So they lost, people are mad, Democrats are mad, there's a ton of Monday morning quarterbacking. But the reality is, there's good policy here, and it's popular too. Like, think about Project 2025. This summer, Project 2025, which is basically all the stuff Trump is now doing, right? Disassembling the Department of Education, ending the national oceanic, the weather. I mean, this is all stuff that is in Project 2025. Bad policy, wildly unpopular policy. So here's the problem. Democrats actually have to do politics now, and that is where...
I can't listen to any more of this nut job talk. It's like basically what she's saying is that the policies of the party are good, but the politic portion, the Brandon of it, how they convey this to people is not good, which is totally inaccurate. Totally inaccurate. The policy, what policies are popular? So the Democrats are against DOGE. They're not against they are against getting efficiency back into our government, rooting out corruption, the scandalous issues that have plagued our federal government for decades, the intense money laundering that happens between the United States government and these nonprofits or NGOs that are owned and operated by Democrat donors who get huge profits. Huge. It's like, and I guess I shouldn't say profits. They take a huge salary for doing absolutely nothing. It's like, what's popular about not rooting out fraud from Social Security and Medicare? We have the Social Security and Medicare are some of our biggest budget items that we have as a country. If we can control some of the fraud in there, maybe we can extend the life of Social Security even further without having to pass legislation, change benefits, or to increase what people put into Social Security. Like, if we can root out some of this fraud, waste, and abuse, we might be able to extend the life of Social Security without any major changes for a couple years. I don't see what's wrong with that. What's popular about transing minor children? What's popular about that? Like, the country, we can see in this poll clearly the American people are behind President Trump. The highest it has been in 21 years. 44% think we're on the right direction. This lady is so full of shit. This just shows the Democrats are flat-footed. They don't know what the hell to do. And so kind of getting back to this poll here. Now, this poll was surveyed from March 7th to March 11th, which here in the current, which today is the 17th. So this was 6 days ago. But what I'm getting at here is this was before the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, decided to back a Republican-led funding bill to keep the government running through September. This move pissed off a lot of Democrats. A lot. AOC is even talking about primarying Chuck Schumer. So these numbers may be even worse for them if this was taken before Chuck Schumer decided to back this GOP spending bill. So if you don't think this is bad for Democrats, 27% approval rating, this may be even lower. So what are the key takeaways here? Republicans are hitting a peak we have not seen in over 2 decades, and the Trump administration is getting the credit they deserve for it. Is it the policies? Is it the vibe? Is it results? Is there something clicking with voters, Republicans, independents, Democrats? On the flip side, the Democrats are in a complete tailspin. They've been caught flat-footed with the lowest approval rating since the 1990s, and their own party is mad at leaders like Chuck Schumer. This could be a preview of what's coming in future elections, or at least a wake-up call for both sides. And I'm curious, what do you think is driving this? Do you think it's his policies? Do you think it's his leadership? Let's get the conversation started on this. Why do you think? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's the action. Trump has taken so much action to undo the failed policies of the Biden administration. You can see, Democrats want to talk about the cost of living, the cost of eggs. The cost of eggs are higher. The cost of eggs have dropped 47% since President Trump has been elected. 47%. And the Democrats want to talk about, Trump's not doing anything to cut costs. Look at this. Look at this, for the same reason President Biden's going to get stuff, even though do I think Trump directly made this happen? No, maybe there's some indirect things that he did that helped the price get down. But ultimately, if something happens during your presidency, you get credit for it. That's just how it works. The price of a dozen of eggs on average is down $4.15 per dozen, down nearly 50%. Now, oil is down to $65 a barrel when it was at $82 when he took office. Look at this. Dozen of eggs, over $8. Wow. Wow. It is just insane. It is just insane what President Trump has been able to do. And the fact that Democrats are caught flat-footed. They don't know what the hell. It's like, you think you've been through this once before. Do you think Trump was just going to roll over and let you do the same things to him that you did the first term? Hell no. He's going after you. And good for him. And that's the breakdown for this insane NBC poll with Republicans at all-time highs, Democrats at all-time lows here. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button down below, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss another video from us again in the future. We will catch you next time, folks.